to show off. Oh, and someone's got something.
Tom,
I've got,
Tom, I don't know if I call these Christmas gifts or not, but it's something that I give away a lot. And one of them is from a demo that Tom Donnelly gave, and that's on making the the beer bottles.
Ah, yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. And
Oh yeah, I remember that.
the beer bottle openers, and I made a ton of those. Unfortunately, I was able to tell him that from his demo. I did that. And the other thing I make a lot of is something that Jim Forbes demoed probably a few months after I joined the club. That's these little, those Christmas, those birdhouses.
Nice.
And I make a ton of those and give them away.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started making some of these little,
I don't give them away, Dick.
I know.
I
But I
sold
don't need
about
any more money.
$6,000 worth of those this year.
It's beautiful. But anyway, thank you for teaching us that.
Happy to do it.
And making these little Christmas bells for decoration.
Oh, that's nice.
Got the little bell
those are nice.
underneath it. And if you do it right, you can use it as a spinning top. This one here evidently wasn't done right, but that can be done, I guess. So anyway, that's a couple things. And
Hey, Dick, another close-up of your birdhouse.
I beg your pardon?
Another close-up look at your birdhouse.
You said you want to see it?
Yeah. Oh, nice.
So,
Where do you get your birds?
I got those off Amazon. Not very expensive. You get about 36 in a little package. I just glue it on there.
Yeah, right.
And so anyway, yeah,
Nice. Nice job.
thanks.
Who's up next?
Chris
I'm
will.
gonna,
So I've been making angels, and they grow and they shrink, and all kinds of different types of wood. And I've started to add a little decorations to them with a necklace and a little extra on the skirt. And depending on who it's going to go to, can you see?
Yep.
How's that? Depending on who it's going to, they can get fatter or thinner. And it all depends on what you might want to. And there's the larger one. And this was made out of a piece of burl. And they're real simple and quick to do. So if Uncle Joe calls and he's going to be there, like my brother said he's going to be here tomorrow, I made a couple for them.
Oh, very nice.
What finish do you use on them, Chris?
I've been experimenting. The general finish seems to work real well, but on the more porous wood, I use a sealer first. That works well. And on the real hardwood, I use just a wax, a hard wax, and it doesn't need any finish at all. I sand up to a 600 and it feels like a baby's bottom, and a little wax on it is perfect, and it gives it a really nice sheen.
How do you apply the wax to the sanded front area?
Very carefully. Yeah. Have not had a problem with that. I use a wax with beeswax in it and a hardener, and it works real well, and it doesn't leave fingerprints. It makes a big difference. I have tried the Renaissance and it's duller than I like, but on some of these real shiny woods, it tones it down, makes it nice and soft. I always leave a little, a little base indentation so that you can put it on the floor or on a base, and it lifts it off and it gives it space. And it just it's might even be 1/16 or even a 32nd of an inch. That's all you need to give it a little breathing space.
Little shadow.
A shadow, yeah, that's a good description. And the necklace is something that I thought I did by mistake once, and I really liked it, and so I make them all that way now.
Oh, very nice.
So lots of fun and real easy to do.
I like
If
it.
anyone's interested, the demo last December was Bill Emerson showing how to make those.
Yeah,
So-
it was really helpful. The thinness of the halo is a trick because it sometimes becomes a wafer and warps. It's like, oh no, it's something about an angel with a warped yeah, it's kind of weird. But anyway, it's
I do like
lots
that finish, Chris. You say that's just a wax with a hardener in it?
yeah. It's just it's a sheen. It's not shiny, but it's I found going to the 600 grit helped. I suppose if I went up to 1,000 on the real hardwood, that it would as well. But
Is it a Carnauba beeswax mix?
yeah, I found the Carnauba is a little bit hard for me to deal with. I'm having trouble with that, but that mixed with the beeswax makes it nice, and it also does away with the fingerprints.
We had a session about a year or two ago with Tom making it at the Woodcraft, didn't we, Tom?
Yep.
Or was it in
Yeah.
your shop?
Yeah.
No, that was still in Woodcraft. I had to buy a hot plate for that one. So
Right.
Tom, did you use Carnauba and beeswax?
yes, a little bit of Carnauba.
Yeah, and I find that that gives me the finish that I really like on the
Mhm.
hardwoods. It's really soft, it's gentle.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Any hints on making those halos? Get them nice and thin.
I haven't had trouble. I use a piece of wood about 7 inches long and different diameters, and I turn the angel this way, and then I have the chuck this way, so I have a piece in between, and that's when I work on the halo. And like I said, as long as I'm breathing right and keeping my fingers crossed, I can get it really really thin. Even this one's warped a little bit. A little warp's not bad, but yeah, a bigger one and a warp is not good.
Chris, I found that I was getting cracking in the wood as it was drying. So I drilled down right through the center from the head down, just shy of the base.
Yeah.
And I covered up that hole with the halo.
Oh, that's a good thought. I haven't had any trouble with the cracking, even on the larger pieces.
Your wood
So
is
that
dried pretty well, though. I guess.
this is a really dry cherry, and I also indent the base here a little bit.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
find that if it does warp at all, it'll wobble, and nobody wants a wobbling angel. So that helps, and it feels good too. People like to get it and feel it and touch it, and they oh, that's nice. So I've had a lot of fun with them, and they can be on the real small ones. They can be nice ornaments too.
Nice.
You put a string on the top of them?
Yeah, or around the neck. Around the neck is a little tacky.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like real.
You don't want to hang
Yeah,
the
I mean,
angel
it
around the
looks
neck.
like she's hung, but the the hole through the top makes it, depending on how you want it to hang. You can put it farther back, and it hangs like that on the tree, rather than straight. I find that people like that as well. That's it.
Very nice. Thank you.
I
You
had
bet.
to run out and take the dog out when you started. Is that halo a separate piece, or is that turned like off center?
Oh, no, it's separate, and I glue it.
Okay, like I said, I had to take my dog out
Yeah, no,
in the middle of it.
I tried it, and even on a bigger piece, and I just couldn't get it. And plus the fact I do sell these for $20, and by the time I messed around with it, I couldn't. So I just like I said, on that piece that's remaining in the chuck, I just cut it off and then make the halo, and I get it real thin, and then glue it on.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I tried it in the off center. I got it, and once.
The challenge.
Once was enough.
Very nice. Well, thank you.
You bet.
Sue, you ready?
Yes, just
Okay,
show you a
put you up.
couple things I've been making. I've got pens that drop into the refrigerator so that you can find them again. I don't know.
Move your camera down a little bit. Can't see.
Yeah,
there
here
we
we go. Basically, pens that mount on the refrigerator, you just drop
Oh,
them in the
nice.
place.
And is
Is
the
the-
holder magnetic?
Yes, they're
Cool.
magnetic.
Do you make those, or do you buy those?
I buy magnets,
Yeah.
but it just, other than that, it's wood and, let's see,
Then you drill a hole.
I drill a hole. This
Yeah,
is
got it.
the pen is not from a kit. That's just a big refill. Is that
Yep.
showing up there at all?
Move
Not
it up
yet.
a little bit.
Pick it up,
Lift it.
lift it up
Okay,
There
there
we
it
go.
is.
Yeah,
and pull it back a little bit, yeah.
yeah, nice.
Okay, so that just drops. Yeah, this is the one that doesn't drop as easily. So it just drops into it on the refrigerator.
Oh,
And I did about 12 of these. They were demoed by the Tiny Turner with the hat and the thing, and you fill with fairy lights.
nice.
And I've only got one left here that I can show. Relatives grabbed them.
Yeah.
And did a lot of birdhouses,
Cool.
just like he did.
Yeah, nice.
And now
Jim,
I'm doing the roof similar to what you do for tops for color.
Uh-huh.
Cool. Very nice.
So
What kind
Did
of
you
pen
use
do you
the
use for
chatter
the?
tool?
So give us another look at that birdhouse, will you?
We're using a chatter tool
Hi-
or like
hi,
the Sorby?
this one's done with the Sorby, but I could also use a chatter tool on it.
And your bird?
The
Where do you-
bird came from Hobby Lobby. It's near the miniature doll houses.
Yeah.
And what about the color? What do you use for,
On the roof, markers.
what
Sharpie
kind of marker?
Sharpie markers, and then I
Sharpies?
did a little bit of a spray shellac on top.
Yeah, I like that. That gives it a little sparkle.
Yeah. So.
Very nice. Can you show
Thank
your
you.
pen again? Okay, there it is. Okay, I couldn't see the tip before.
Yeah, this part has to be under 3/8 of an inch, so it'll drop through the hole, and then
Mhm.
you drill the hole by I have to hold the drill bit. And finally, I figured out that the Jacob's chuck works best for that,
Mhm.
but I have to hold it by hand because my lathe isn't big enough.
Ah,
Well, you
What kind
can
of-
buy
That
the,
Powermatic would be perfect for
I was
you.
gonna say, Tom,
Yeah.
one you can
Yeah.
buy.
It'd have to come with a very large shed to put it in.
So what kind of an ink stick do you put in it?
Oh, you buy Bic. Sometimes might cost you 12 cents for it.
Oh, the
And
big
they-
pens? Okay, yeah.
Yep. And then you just literally can pull it out of your Bic plastic pen and
Stick it in there.
stick it
Yeah.
in. Yep. And
Good
it's
idea.
demoed by Mike Peace.
Okay, I don't know who that
So-
is.
Well, he does a lot of YouTubes for beginners.
Oh, okay.
yeah, if you look,
Okay.
please adjust you pull it right out and you size your drill bits so they fit this
Right.
part right
Yeah.
here.
Yep.
I found he has the first like third or a half inch is a little larger than the rest of it. And I found I had to drill that last, or I'd end up with a spot that was a little too big. And if you do get a spot that's a little too big, you just use a little bit of plumber's tape to increase the diameter on this. And then it's still replaceable because it can still be pulled directly out and then replaced with another one.
Good idea.
Good idea.
Yeah. Also, if you look for Captain Eddie did one a long time ago called the 12-cent pen.
Yeah.
He did them.
So,
Great. Well, thank you. Anything else?
well, this is from before. I haven't done this recently, but the oil lamps that you demoed.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, those
Those
are always
are-
good sellers.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Thank you very much.
you're very welcome.
Thanks. Anybody else? Anybody?
I had a request. It's not really a Christmas. It was for a Christmas gift. It's a mortar and pestle.
Ah, cool.
I was down in Cambridge last week, and I swung by the Rockler and cruised through that store and found they had a pallet full of maple burl and cherry burl, and so I got this little $25 piece of cherry burl. It's got some great fun little great greens, and so yeah, turned up mortar and pestle for, probably took me, I don't know, an hour. That's probably, I've only been turning about a year and a half, so it went quick. And it's actually for a friend of mine needed it, and so
Nice job.
Awesome.
thanks.
Show the bottom of it.
That's just my logo, branded logo.
Is that a brand?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Where'd you get that one from?
That was online. I ordered it through Etsy, and there was a person that just does I'm new to it. I just got it about 3 weeks ago, and I've only used it about a half dozen times. And I didn't do a very good job burning it into this because it's not that legible, but I think I paid probably $70 for it. And I heat it up with my torch, and when I do it right, it reads really well.
Uh-huh.
So it's user error on my
Yeah. Heat is critical. Yeah.
but I've got some great grains and some of this. This is a chunk of old maple firewood that I had that's got some pretty great grains to it, and it's nice and hard. And I sealed it up with a homemade mixture of mineral oil and organic beeswax. I heated up in a little 2-cup crock pot there, and it's sort of a rendition of Odie's oil, only a 16th of the cost, and it works well and it seals up nicely, and it's cheap. And that's what I've got.
Very good. Nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I got some last minute bowls that I did as presents.
There you are.
Um,
Okay, let me spotlight you.
I don't know how well you can see it. It's not too
There we go.
light in here. Got some spalted maple. Can you see that well?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sure you guys see lots of bowls, but got this ash bowl. It's not perfect, but I got it pretty thin for someone who's only been doing this maybe a couple months. And I put a ebonized the bottom. Someone was just walking by the lathe, and I told them that I was just messing around, and they suggested I ebonized it. So that was pretty cool. And then I made a bunch of these, just turned them real quick. Those cherry slabs I was talking about. Got them all dried, and these were some of the
Nice.
first things I turned. So that was fun to do.
Nice pattern.
Yeah.
What do
Cherry's
you use
beautiful.
for ice?
What did I use to ebonize? So it's just apple cider vinegar and steel wool
Steel
mixed
wool,
together, and then you poke holes in the top of whatever you put it in so it can oxidize.
Slowing down for everyone or just me?
No,
No, it's not
everyone.
just you.
Everyone,
That's York for you.
How many
Yeah,
could break
somebody
it up
check,
on
see
us?
if he feels all right.
So I hear. I just found out that this like the other day. What? Hello?
Dominic, if you can hardwire, you'll probably have better luck.
You're breaking up on us.
Okay, hardwire. I can't hardwire.
So
Are you on the Wi-Fi or no? Sometimes your Wi-Fi is getting shoddy. You're always going to cellular.
I see.
better.
I'm sorry. Bummer.
that's like we just missed the last couple minutes of what you were saying.
Okay. That's a drag. Oh well, that wasn't too important. Just a couple cool bowls.
Nice. Well, very nice. How do you usually finish them?
I just used mineral oil for the ones that I finished. The only one that I didn't finish was the ash bowl. That one still had some time to dry, but it's ready to dry now. It's less than 10%, so I'll be bringing that into the makerspace. Probably throw some mineral oil on it, give it a final sand.
What are you using to measure your humidity, the moisture in your wood?
A moisture meter.
What kind is it?
Oh, I don't have the slightest clue. I bought a pretty cheap one at a hardware store, and it worked well for me when I was drying some planks, so I kept it around.
Got it.
They sell like the general one at Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yeah.
General brand.
Yeah, this one of the ones that uses electricity to measure the resistance of the water. I don't really just classic.
Is it a pinless or pin?
What's that?
Pinless or pin?
I
Do you
didn't
have
hear what you
two,
said.
does it have like a pin? Does it have two pins that go into the wood, or is it one that's
Yeah,
on top?
yeah, exactly. 2 pins that go into the wood.
Very good. Thank you very much. Anybody else
Welcome.
have stuff to show?
I just do pins, so everybody see my pins.
Need a little bottle stopper.
Let's see if I can find you. Keep talking so I can see you light up.
Right here.
Mantha.
Here I am. That's not me.
Over here. Okay.
Like me, gotta get the beard going on. Actually, when your email, you said something like if somebody's coming over and you want to run out quick, so like, I don't know, probably 20 minutes or something, ran out to Ruth Niles, Niles stainless steel stopper. and
Yeah.
tulip wood. So I just ran
Nice.
quick and because I actually do have somebody I had to get a quick Christmas gift for. So, you know,
Exactly.
power.
What did you use for finish?
Actually, that's just I went up to about a 400 on the sandpaper, and then I used a fiberglass restorer wax, which is basically like an abrasive wax, and hit it with that, and then beeswax. I don't know if anybody's ever used it. It's a beeswax and orange oil. I can't remember the brand name.
Half and half? Oh,
Comes in a bottle. It smells really delightful. It's like it smells like citrus, but it's just a mixture of beeswax and olive oil, and I just buffed it up high RPM after I did it. I made like a homemade arbor. I work in a machine shop, so I whipped this up. That's threaded with the same thread as the stopper kit. Just because I'm too cheap to go buy one. That just
Let's
fit
introduce you to Ron.
Yeah. What's that?
Let's introduce you to Ron. He's
Oh,
the
there
Yeah,
same
you
way.
we're gonna be good friends.
There you go. Yeah, I made a little ridge in there just so this actually just fits right in my, like the dovetail, the jaws fits right in there, and it just holds it. You know,
Yeah,
it was a piece of scrap at work with a cut off 3/8/16.
3/8/16, yeah.
Yeah. And,
Cool.
I had another one, but I don't know. In the move, I'm out there trying to turn stuff. For one thing, I can't use my Powermatic because it's 220. So I got to get an electrician to wire for the 220. So I'm using one of my mini lathes so I can at least turn. But so I don't know. I go to do stuff. I can't find anything. It's like everything's in. So hopefully before too long, I'll get organized so I can actually turn without having to spend half the time looking for tools. And one thing with the move, though, I found out that I am a bit of a tool hoarder because I have so many freaking turning tools. It's ridiculous. I probably 30 tools, like, you know, turning tools like gouges and scrapers and skews, and
It's not that many.
I never knew until I moved and put it all in one spot.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you said something quick, so I just
Yep.
that was quick.
Exactly. And I always make a bunch of those. They always sell. The simple little thing, but
Yeah.
they always pay my booth fee very
Yeah,
easily.
My wood turning club every year sets up the Topsfield Fair in Topsfield, Mass. And we do demonstrations all week long, and we sell stuff there as well. And one of the things people make the most money on sometimes is tops. Just turning those little quick 2-minute tops, sell them for like
Yep.
$2 a piece, and people make a killing on them.
Mhm.
Simple little thing.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes we try too hard, I think, sometimes.
Right.
Cool. Thank you very much. Anybody
So-
else in the show?
So I have some, I thought I'd try to make some chopsticks, and they came out nice, but I ended up turning them with sandpaper. I started off trying to turn them with the skew and stuff, and in the end, I used a right angle grinder and sandpaper, and then a
80
tremendous
grit
amount of hand sanding.
Is that the 80 grit skew?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I ended up making 7 sets. It took me 5 hours, so I didn't pursue that.
Nice.
Hey, Tom?
Yep.
I got this is a gift to myself. I do a lot of shaping of cabriole legs. I'm making a Philadelphia footstool right now, Chippendale footstool, and the cabriole legs have a rounded nature to them, so you need to shape them. And this is called a dragon file. I don't know if you've ever seen one before. They're not cheap.
Is it hand cut?
Yes, I believe it is. They're sold as luthier
Ka-ching.
tools. They're mostly used for shaping guitar handles, guitar necks, but I use them for the legs, and they never come with a handle. So I've made a bunch of handles for chisels and tools and stuff like that, but I did make this handle. But the problem I've always had with handles is how do you get them onto the tang of the file? And the problem is the tang is kind of triangular in shape, so much narrower at the top here than it is at the base. So in order to drill the hole in the actual handle you turn, you either have to drill successively larger diameter holes from the bottom up to the base here, so that it'll fit in, or you have to figure out some other way. So I did see a demo online how to do it differently, which is kind of interesting. What you essentially do is you clamp this the file itself in a vise, use wood on both sides not to damage the file, and then after you drill, you make two holes. You make a hole the length of the tang at the diameter of the smallest part of the tang, which is up here. And then at the ferrule part here, you drill as far as the end of the ferrule with the diameter right here at the base. And then what you do is you heat up the tang using a torch, and you have to use MAP gas because that gets it to 3,700 degrees Fahrenheit. You heat it till it gets red, then you take the handle itself and you just press it down till it hits the base of this, and the smoke comes pouring out of it as it burns the fibers, and it fits perfectly. You don't need any glue or anything. This is never coming off. But that's just a different way to get handles onto tangs of files and stuff that you always struggle with. So anyway, just a different technique.
Gotta be careful not to ruin the temper of your file.
Well, you can't go down below here. You have about 3/4 of an inch here before you're going to ruin anything. But it's still soft steel up on the tang. So that's all you're heating. You're going from here to here. As soon as it turns red, you press this down on there and you're done. So, and it goes down pretty smoothly, actually.
We learned that on Fortune of Fire, actually. They were doing the handle scales for their knives, stuff like that. They did a couple people did that same technique. They heated up the tang and forced the put onto it.
Interesting.
Nice. Well, thank you. Anybody else have anything to show?
I got a couple of items here, Tom.
Okay, let me spotlight you. There we go. Ooh, mushrooms.
Mushrooms, they were pretty popular this year at the craft fairs. We
Pretty.
sold about 40 of these things, in the $20 to $30 range. Variety of woods, variety of conditions.
What do you do underneath the cap? You been doing anything texturing or anything?
Yeah, it's hollowed out, very thin, quite thin on both of them, so that they wouldn't crack. I go up, way up under as far as I can. This one here is an interesting wood, if you want to call it wood. It's staghorn
Sumac.
sumac. Yeah, thank you. Staghorn sumac. It's an amazing grain for an old weed. The other thing that was quite popular this year, in fact, I totally sold out. These are my wives that I stole for tonight's meeting. These are my little snowmen. Now, Tom, we had a snowman presentation at your shop a year or two ago. And I made one with a skirt, and this is my, it takes a little more time than the one I did before. Again, I hollow these out so they won't split and crack as they're drying. I hollow them out and then cover up the hollowing with the hat. It's a two-piece piece.
Oh.
I started doing it as one piece, and I found that it was too much work to try to paint the hats with the without getting the paint on the head. So I make them as two pieces. I paint the hat separately, and these are quite popular.
They look great.
I sold a bunch of these, and of course you've seen my little birdhouses.
Yep.
And I sold about 150 of these birdhouses this year.
Ooh,
at $30 a piece. So it was
Wow, it's
a
awesome.
worthwhile Christmas craft season.
yeah.
I got a
Very
question
nice.
for you.
Yep.
You ever turn a sumac burl?
A sumac burl. I never
Yeah.
heard of it.
I found one a couple weekends ago. I just left it. I didn't even bother because I just figured, it's just sumac. But that mushroom got me thinking about that burl, and I should go get that burl.
Yes, Dominic. I
Yeah,
think
you
you're
should.
right.
You should go right now before someone else does.
Go no, he's one of my side work clients. So I go there. He's got me working in a couple weekends doing some tipping back of a cherry tree. I'm just gonna cut the tree down. He doesn't care. It's junk wood to him. So
Where is this in York?
Yeah.
it,
What was the coordinates of that?
that was in Portsmouth. I think I've done just about every single. It was one of those jobs that one weekend I did a bunch of removals for a guy, and then the neighbor the next weekend had me do a bunch of stuff, and I just went down the block and did tree removals for just about every person on that street. It was pretty funny.
Who do you work for, Dominic?
Currently, I work for I almost forgot what it's called. New England Tree Company out of Kittery or Elliott, right on the border there, Kittery and
Yeah,
Elliott.
right.
I worked for Piscataqua Landscaping Company on their tree crew pretty recent up until recently. And I do side work for myself, just pruning and doing tree
Right.
removals around the area.
Collecting Burl Club.
There's a lot of
Collecting
it being
pearls.
done in the Kittery area. A lot of tree work.
Yeah, no, for sure. And a
But,
lot of
yeah,
burls. I was just working in Kittery today. I got a huge burl, probably 20 inches big around and 30, 35 inches tall. I had to chop it up into 3 pieces to haul it out of the woods. Crazy.
Those are fun work. That's
Dominic,
Yeah,
we have
but
to meet. We have
What's
to
that?
meet. We have to
Yeah.
meet, please. I'm only in Greenland. I gotta get your contact information.
I
If
could tell you
help-
like burls. But
I love, yeah.
Yeah, they're fun.
Dominic,
Can I-
you get to a point as I have where the acquisition of any more lumber is grounds for divorce, I think.
Yeah, I'm just about there. I mean, I don't have any space at all. I got a small apartment and my car's filled with lumber. I keep a lot of stuff at my parents' house, but the company I work for, we have a lumber yard. It's just filled with just logs and crazy
Right.
stuff everywhere. Every local, tree that we have. It's a lot of fun to pick through and just cut things up and see how they look, what
Well,
does
as
what.
you-
Field
As
tripping
you
to
can
work.
see from the stuff that I turn, I don't go after all the big logs anymore. That's 2 to 3 inch diameter provides me with a sufficient income with the little
I could
bird
see
houses
that.
and mushrooms and things.
Those are super cool too. I love those mushrooms. Those are awesome. And
Yeah.
the snowmen are really cute too.
Yeah, they're fun to make. You don't have to invest a lot of time and effort, and it's easy on the back.
Yeah, I bet.
Handling a 60-pound burl, struggling that onto the lathe and then taking away 10 buckets of chips is a lot of work these days.
Yeah, worth every ounce of effort.
Oh yeah.
Has anybody here ever turned corkscrew willow?
No, there's one at the shipyard, entrance to the shipyard. I think it's a cork willow. I don't know if it's corkscrew willow or just cork willow.
Do the branches do all kinds of crazy contorted things like
No, I may have the name wrong. I think it's cork something. Right at there's a big tree. Some logs of it came down 2 years ago, right at the entrance to shipyard entrance number 1.
In front of that house there on the corner?
What's that, John?
Is that the one in front of the house on the corner?
Yes.
As you
yeah.
come into the gate on the left on the corner there?
Right, that's the
Yeah.
one, yeah. Isn't that a cork willow? Is that a cork willow or?
I don't recall seeing a
No,
cork
no,
willow
it's
on
not.
there, but I feel like I would.
That's a deciduous tree. Yeah.
I don't know what it's cork something. I remember them saying when a big branch came down.
Oh, are you that's I know what you're talking about. It's got a plaque underneath it because it's Maine's largest. It's
Right.
It's an elm tree, a corkwood
Yeah,
elm
you're
or
right.
something like that.
Elm, yeah.
Cork
it's an
elm?
Yeah, I know
Okay.
that tree. That's
A red
that's
elm or
huge tree.
something, yeah.
Beautiful. No,
Yeah.
corkwood willow only grows 30, 40 feet tall, but I've never turned it or even seen it, but the wood before. I chopped one down recently and took a few blanks, but the wood looks really weird. And I was wondering if anyone had any, suggestions on how to turn it, but it looks different than regular willow. It has all these little pins in it that run perpendicular to the grain, and they're like slightly pinkish in color, a little bit different color.
Sounds cool.
Well,
Yeah,
Dominic,
that's-
between you
Try
and me and Brett, who's in Kittery also, we'll have to get all together and have a local powwow of available woods.
yeah, right. Well, we'll all be seeing each other on the 13th, right?
Yes.
Yep, hopefully. So,
Yeah, I'll bring the flame too.
what's that, Kelly?
I'll bring some of that flame box over too.
Oh, great.
Sounds good.
Very good.
Brett, you turned your camera on finally.
Ah, just on the show, Brett?
Finally, hi Jim.
How are you?
Hi.
I don't have anything here to show at the moment.
Oh, okay.
But I've been making a lot and selling quite a bit too.
Oh, what have you been
Good.
selling?
To coworkers at the shipyard.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well,
Good.
that's a good audience down there.
Hey, does anybody else have something or say or show? Okay. I think we'll go on with our quick demo for the screwdriver. So what we're gonna be making, switch my camera around. This one. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So we're making this. So it's basically it's a screwdriver. One of the has 4 different bits that you get. And what this started out as one of these. $2 at Harbor Freight, 4-in-1 screwdriver. They used to give them away free when they had the their coupons. There's always a buy one get one free, but now they're $2. If you don't like Harbor Freight, this is the Home Depot version. So it was $4 last time I checked. So same thing. It says the metal insert and then the blade.
That is genius.
And if you want to spend money, this is the Woodcrafts version of it, which I think was around $5 or $6. And same with the craft supplies one. So $5 or $6. So you can spend as much or as little as you want. Oh, then if you happen to have any of the old Harbor Freights, they had this hole in there. So they still work, but you had to cover up that hole before you epoxied it in. Otherwise, your epoxy got through. And mess things up. But so yeah. So we're gonna start with that. So what I do with it, I found the easiest way to deal with it is I start with my Dremel, and basically just want to take that out till later. And so basically you just want to cut in here. Side. Go in with a pair of pliers or a screwdriver and just break it out. So that's the piece you're going to be using. And this one just happens to be, it's almost exactly 1 inch long. And if you measure point to point, it's like a little hex thing. It's about right around 5/8. So keep those measurements in hand. Oh, and this is another one I made. I used the Wagner texturing tool on it a little bit. Just get some feel for it. So what we're going to start with, piece of apple, and I have my center into my chuck. I don't know if anyone's ever used those. They're just little things, little centers. And they fit inside your chuck, so you don't take your chuck off every time you go between centers or into the chuck. Just between. Okay, and I'm going to start with my roughing gouge. Just get it round.
I assume that's pretty dry.
Yeah, it's a few years old. Eye on the tool rest here. Okay, just a quick look. So this piece is about maybe 6.5, 7 inches long. You need about 6 inches, 5.5, 6 inches total. This one's a little bit longer. Take it down, so I can put in my chuck. In there, make sure it's all centered.
Tom, what size is your tenon that you just put in the jaws?
Well, these are record, I think they're 35 millimeter jaws. So a little bit smaller than the 50 millimeter. I like those slightly smaller jaws, so that's why I'm using those right now. But you could just use your regular 50 millimeter jaws if that's what you have. Because this happened to be what I had on the chuck right now, so that's what I end up using.
Yeah, Tom, I've been looking for those jaws and haven't been able to find them anywhere.
I got them. These are actually made by Record Power.
They are. Okay.
I got them at I think the AAW show symposium in Portland, Oregon. That's where that came from.
Yeah, because I haven't seen them anywhere. I haven't seen them on
It's
you
okay
know,
to
Rankin
talk to me.
Tower's website or any place.
Yeah, I think
Hello,
I think you can order them through Woodcraft.
it's okay to speak to my wife.
So
122039.
Talking in the background.
That's all right. I'll give you back to her.
okay, I'm gonna clean up the
So here's the issue.
this end over here.
The
A little careful, so I'm out here a little bit. So I can get real centered. Okay, so I'm gonna start.
Hold on, it's not a new address, it's our only address, hold on. Give me the New Hampshire address.
Hello, it's 211 Aladdin Street, Manchester, New Hampshire. 03104.
Find him.
That's what a party is, guys.
There he is. Okay. So we're gonna drill the holes in now. The first one's gonna be a 5/8. It's a slightly big. I wish I had something just a little bit smaller, but I don't have anything in between. Okay, so we're gonna start this one up, turn my speed down. About around 5 and 600 there. We're gonna go in 1 inch, which is that mark right there, 1 inch. I'm gonna put more because I think I'm gonna pick up a little bit. Let's see. I had some, where it is. Measure. Okay, so I'm just a hair over an inch. Oh, no, actually a hair under an inch. A little deeper. Okay. An inch and an eighth now. So what's I need now, so there it is. So what's gonna happen, it's gonna fit in, that's gonna run like that. Nice and flush here. So I'm gonna want to drill my next hole at least that far. Let's see. So I'm going to drill my next hole about at least that far. That's going to be about 4 inches. And that hole is going to be half an inch. So whatever kit you get, measure those parts because they're not always the same size. This right around there.
Hi, Mr. Fish. Did you have fun?
Yep, I played Minecraft.
Sure.
Minecraft? How was it? Good.
Here we go.
On survival.
That's the 4-inch
Survival?
mark there.
Way too hard. Way too hard. But that was the size of this carrot.
Where'd you get that giant carrot from?
At my house,
Holy crap.
with a pack of them. Yum.
Depth.
What's that?
Mom's video meeting.
Right at 4 inches. So I'm going to go just a little deeper
What are you?
to make sure I have a little bit of margin.
What?
Rabbit.
No.
Rabbit.
Fish.
Dad. Rabbit.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're eating a carrot.
Rabbit. Rabbit. Ribbit. 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 Mouse.
For speaking early. Okay. Now just do a sanity check. So that's going to fit in plenty of room. So now we're ready to start shaping the handle. So go back to the cone center, which will fit in that hole. That I'm gonna now just a little bit more. My 3/8 bowl gouge. Oh. It's good. Okay, so what I'm going to do is probably going to come at the top of the handle around here and come down and there. a feature down there. So. Parting tool. Up here. Here a little bit. This is a good time to practice your skew if you want. Excellent. Inches. What's nice here, you make it however you want to fit your hand. So. Roughing gouge, smaller one. This is the D-Way roughing gouge. So it's a nice tool. It's not that expensive either.
Hey, Tom, you seem to be getting a lot more of the D-Way tools. You like them, huh?
I have most of my tools are either D-Way or Thompson.
Yeah.
I like the Thompson skews. I like the weight of them, edges. D-Way roughing gouge, it's around $80. The
60.
Thompson one was like 200.
Yeah, that's a neat little tool. I like that. It's a
Yeah,
beast.
I think it's because of the way the powder metal comes. It's not meant to make this shape.
Yeah.
So that's why I think Thompson's so expensive. Yeah, this is a nice little one. Stays sharp a long time and it's a good job.
Yeah.
Does it have a round tang instead of like that flimsy flat tang?
It does. Yeah. Yeah. Half-inch tang.
I love Doug Thompson's tools.
They're very good. The boots on the D-Way one, on the D-Way gouges, but yeah, I have a selection of both. So thing is, they're really not that much. They don't cost that much more than a good Sorby or other.
Yeah.
I think is that's a credit to the new guy at D-Way. I think his name's Jimmy.
Yeah.
And Doug Thompson. I think they pretty down. Shape. That's probably just a little fat. I take that down a little bit too. this is the shape I sort of like. You pick any shape you want. You know, that's nice thing about being able to customize your tool handles. Spindle gouge. Sure.
Are you not gonna put a ferrule on there?
I'm not going to put a ferrule, but if you wanted to, pipe is a pipe. But these kinds, these aren't. People aren't prying things open with the drivers, so
You're afraid it might split when you press that insert in?
no, I have enough. I have enough room. I don't think it'll split. I haven't had any splits yet. I do I put a ferrule on a couple of the first ones I made. Then I just stopped doing it and haven't gone back to it. But yeah, you could definitely use a piece of, copper pipe or something. You have some sticking in here just for that purpose. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I could put a ferrule on there if I wanted to, but I haven't found the need for it. Like I said, people don't choose these aren't going to be heavy use objects. They're more for like a kitchen drawer.
Handles on your pots and pans.
Embellishment on it. Burn lines, maybe.
What is that wire you're using to do that?
That's an old piece of guitar wire
Oh,
string.
Hmm.
It handles
That's-
for it. And it,
that's pretty.
you definitely want to make the handles for it. You don't want to wrap the wire around your finger.
Right, right. I like that. That's smart.
And if you don't have the guitar string, Woodcraft sells the burning kit. I think it's 3 different gauges as well.
That's true.
Very
They do.
cool.
Do a little bit of touch up here.
Which strings work better? The ones wrapped around each other, or the higher strings, like the high E or B?
I've used the higher string. I've never used the wrapped ones. I should try it sometime and see. I just thought having the smoother string would be the way to go, but
That makes sense. Yeah, to get the burn in there.
yeah.
The wrap might be
I
weird.
would think the other one, the wound one, would break apart.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Works fine with plain copper wire too, electrical
Yep.
wire.
That's true. That does work. I've tried that.
Elliot, I think you'll find that copper wire dissipates the heat too fast. And it doesn't get the wood hot enough. Steel wire works a lot better than copper wire for that aspect.
I have used copper wire. It did work. I haven't used it recently, so I really can't say. Go with that. Now, if you wanted to, you come in with the let's see what do I have. Oh, you come in with the Sorby texturing tool. One option, or the Wagner texturing tool. So, maybe I'll do the Wagner on this one. I don't want to do this whole thing. Yeah, I don't want to do the. There's a couple knots in there which won't take the texture very well. Okay. And as far as finish, that's again, it's up to you. You can do something just simple as like a walnut oil finish on it. You know, if it's going to get thrown into a toolbox or a drawer, that might be a good thing. You can do a friction polish on it. You know, it's all what you want it to look like. Last couple I did, I just used walnut oil. Mahoney's.
That's just walnut oil?
That's just walnut oil. Yep. So bring the grain out a little bit. And I can always look at it and decide if I want to do a top coat or something. So I didn't sand up very much either. I usually would go through and just go to 400 on the. Like maybe I'll do that while it's wet. About this dust.
Tom, how long do you find that it takes to dry the walnut oil?
I don't know. Because I usually, last thing I do before I go in the house, and it's always pretty dry by the time I come back out in the morning. So,
Oh,
but it depends how dry the wood is too. A lot of it is it'll just soak in.
so you're saying the harder the wood, the less time it's going to take to dry.
Actually, the other way. If it soaks in, it'll feel dry a lot sooner.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got it.
Even if it's a really porous hardwood?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't tried on anything real open grain.
If it's real porous, it'll never really create a shine. It just keeps soaking into the wood.
Okay.
True. But if it's really porous, if you wet sand with the oil, you will fill up the hole. That's what I've used quite a bit. This apple's really close grain, so it's not really gonna. You don't have to.
If you've got really porous wood, a French polish works out well.
Yeah.
What is a French polish again? I've heard that before, but
It's basically a friction polish as well as wood spinning. You can use shellac,
Okay.
you can use you know, virtually anything. You could do it with wax. You know, Jim Forbes has a fantastic thing with wax soaked cloths that he burnishes them with the wax, and I've been doing that, and it really goes easy and gives you a marvelous looking finish.
Cool.
I tried making some of the cloth wax things, but I'm gonna have to get Jim to show me how he does them so they don't fold onto each other.
This, these, that's all carnauba wax finish. Sanded to 400 grit and then rubbed at high speed with a cloth soaked in carnauba wax. And it burns the finish right into it. It's a permanent wax finish.
Permanent. That's cool.
Basically a final finish. It's very durable.
Do the same thing on the birdhouses, on the tops.
That sounds ideal for is it food grade? It sounds
Yeah.
like it is for bowls or cutting boards or.
They coat most of your medicine with carnauba wax.
Yep.
All right.
Even my little snowmen have
candy
a
too.
carnauba wax finish on them. Not the tops, but just the bottoms. So one's a one-step finish. Makes it quick for production.
How long do you find you have to leave the rag on the wood?
Depends on how hard you want to press and how fast you want your fingertips to be burnt.
Thanks a lot, Jim.
Large pieces can be a little more difficult doing that with.
Yeah, I wouldn't try it on something bigger than 6-inch diameter. I've never tried it, but on some small diameter, I just crank the speed up to as fast as the lathe will turn at my medium speed. I usually turn it at medium belt speed. And I just crank it up and rub the cloth against it, and it gets hot enough to melt the wax.
Yeah.
And burn your fingertips. I have burnt fingertips to prove it.
You just melt the wax and then soak the rag in it?
That's what I do. I melt the wax. I buy carnauba wax in the pellet or flake form on Amazon. I take about half a cup of it and melt it in a saucepan on a hot plate down in my shop. I don't do this in the kitchen, but I do it down in my shop on a hot plate.
It's not anymore.
Yeah, that's right. On a Teflon coated saucepan. And then I just take a 4-inch or 5-inch square of t-shirt material and lay it into the melted wax. You need a couple of pair of tweezers to pick it up, stretch it at the same time, and lay it off on a sheet of wax paper to cool. It cools very quickly. And it takes a while. It takes a little break-in period because it's stiff with wax until you break it in a little bit on the first few turnings.
So here's a piece that Jim gave me. Okay. Oh, so you use 2 pairs of tweezers, Jim?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because when I did it, it didn't quite go so well.
2 tweezers to pick up the 2 opposing corners.
I was using 1 pair of tongs, and as soon as I pick it up, it would fold into itself.
Of
I'm
course.
saying, how did he do it?
It's called experience.
Jim, I'm actually finding I'm using that a lot. I've just made half a dozen rolling pins,
Uh-huh.
and it was marvelous.
Isn't it a nice finish?
Yeah, yeah. The salt cellars I'm making now, I'm using for inside and outside. It's marvelous.
I didn't tell you that there's a patent issued on that with a royalty penalty on it.
I'm not selling it. I'm sure we will work a trade. Nice job, Tom.
Very nice, Tom.
So what we'll do from here, I'll use some epoxy and just push that in. I'm trying to push that out. I'm gonna have to get it out now.
Now he won't be able to get it out.
Yeah. Work on it. So basically, that's what we'll end up with.
Now, do you
Nice
sell
job.
those in your shows, Tom?
What's that?
Do you sell that at your show?
I have sold a few, yes. I didn't do any shows this year, but yeah, I try to have 2 or 3 of these. They usually go pretty good.
Order of magnitude. What kind of pricing do you get on them?
35.
And the guy's calling me a thief when I sell my birdhouses for 30 bucks. Jeez. And you said that without any
No, those
guilt,
are
right?
nut drivers also, right? You can use them as nut drivers
Yep.
as well as the screwdrivers. Yeah.
Yeah, if you did take it out, then that's for what size it is.
Here's
But
one
to
of-
some degree, I mean, that's not very thick. You're gonna,
35 bucks and no guilt, right?
no guilt at all.
I love it. Chris, that sounds like one of the jobs you'd get into.
So, but yeah, that's my quick stocking stuffer
Nice
for
job.
Christmas.
Chris, were you the one that was selling wands, conductor's wands?
No. Great idea, though.
Who was that was doing conductor wands?
Yeah, Harry Potter
Yeah,
wands.
yeah, somebody was doing that.
Yeah.
Conductor one's really hard. You have to get them balanced.
Yeah, Seacoast, somebody in the Seacoast had a contract with one of the music schools.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
Yeah, they were selling the conductor's wands to all the graduates.
Yeah, you have to get them balanced really well.
Yeah.
It's
Only if
really
you're gonna
hard to
use
do.
it.
True.
It's one of the Seacoast members, isn't it, that was doing that?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
John Dross, do you remember who was doing that?
No, I don't, but I got a friend that lives down in Mass that makes them for, he calls them spiritual wands,
Yeah,
with crystals on them and things, and that's all he turns out of fancy woods.
Yeah.
And he sells a lot of them.
Wow.
Amazing
I
what
don't
you-
know who it was from Seacoast, though. I don't remember anybody.
It's amazing what you can do with a lathe.
Yep, it is.
A lot of ways to make a money.
Hey,
And
Ron,
have
do you have
fun.
one of those rolling pins handy? So I made 3 or 4 of those too. Yeah, very nice.
That's cherry. I don't know why it's the cherry got black. There must have been some metal in the tree.
A black cherry, is it?
Nice.
Cherry is cherry.
Is there a different species, black cherry?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Well, when I have maple, it's maple. Plain and simple. When we
Unless
mark
it's
stuff,
ambrosia.
it's maple, it's maple. If it's ambrosia, it's still just maple.
There's another rolling pin.
There's another one. It's made of cherry. Or no, this one's maple.
John, what's your large diameter?
That
That
big.
looks smaller.
It's that big. I don't know.
I shoot for 1 7/8 on the larger
It's
diameter.
straight from
That's about
here
10
to
inches
here.
long.
See,
It's straight
on
from here to
on my
here.
picture, John, it looked like it was about that big.
That looks this
Yeah,
big
yeah,
on my
it's close
screen.
enough.
I'll go get mine.
I would say about 1 3/8 to 1.5 inches, I'm guessing. About 3/4 on the ends.
Nice.
Hey, Ron, I wanted to thank you for the wood you gave me the other day. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nice bowl blanks out of it.
Oh,
And I-
well, you're welcome to come back and get more.
That's it's super. It's some of it's pretty punky, but little CA glue solves that.
Well, you can also shore it up a bit with some shellac. The only thing you have to watch if it's real punky, the shellac will shrink up and it can cause it to crack or distort.
Yeah,
But shellac will shore up real punky wood.
yeah, I've used that as a seal, but when it's real punky, I use the CA. It seems to solve the problem.
Yeah,
Do you ever use Minwax's wood hardener?
I have, and not found it terribly successful, and it's pretty expensive.
How about
The-
sanding sealer?
Yep, I've used that as well. I like that better. It seems to sink in, and it's nowhere near as expensive.
Right.
Hey,
Um,
and one thing when you've got punky wood, if you have a real hard time with grain tear out, throw a little walnut oil or mineral oil on there when you go to take your final cuts, and it'll help support the wood somehow. All I know is it works for me.
That's an interesting idea. I've thought the harder the better, but I think that might keep the fibers together.
When we
I've
had
done
the
that a
Mike
lot.
Mahoney demo, he had mentioned that.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I remember. Huh, I'll have to give that a try.
Yeah, Ron, this is the something like the ones I made. I made about 4 of these now.
Oh, nice.
Nice grain, Dick.
Was that oak?
This is oak, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit more than an open grain that I'd like, but it's what I had, so that's what I made. So
Yeah, the only rolling pin I'll make is a French rolling pin. I keep it simple, stupid, for me anyway.
yeah, this is really a French one with a little bit of the English design. So you keep
Yeah.
it like that. So
You're
that
right.
doesn't turn. So the French
That's when I make pens. I only make one style, the slim line, Tango. That's it. I'm giving them away, so.
Dick, you
What?
sand your oak rolling pin?
What's that?
You sand it, you sanded your dick, your.
Yeah,
rolling
it's,
pin.
yeah, it's probably about 400 grit, and then I got about four coats, over a 2 or 3 day period of tried and true oil on it.
Does that close the grain enough?
No.
No. Try sanding with the oil. You'll be able to put up a nice slurry and it'll go into the grain.
Hey,
I find
Dick,
sanding-
that
when
would
I
be Dick, that would be a perfect thing for that wax, French polish finish. Really, it'll fill the grain, and it'll be a really nice, smooth, shiny piece.
Yeah, I'll try that.
I find when I try to sand oak, I end up with ripples.
Mm.
The hard and soft grain just,
Anyway,
What
but mine
finishes
are
are
all,
they?
I can tell you that mine are all different.
What finishes are they using on the rolling pins?
So this is called tried and true, and it's a food safe.
It's linseed oil and wax. That's what tried and
Yeah.
true is.
Depolymerized.
Mahoney's walnut oil on this one.
Is that cherry, John?
I don't know. It's dark in here. I can't see. No, it's maple.
It's fairly tight grained though.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's best for rolling pins because that oak, you're going to trap really small, almost microscopic stuff in all the pores. It's
That's what I was thinking.
yeah. You want a closed grain wood. You can put sanding sealer on it on the oak one. That'll help fill in the pores real quick. And then sand it back and put on the finish of choice.
Yeah, I think I'd like to do that. Yeah.
Speaking of finishes, Margaret's got a whole cabinet full of all kind of finishes. You can't bring it to the dump, so if somebody is looking to experiment with finishes, go take the whole cabinet load, and it's got everything in there. You'll have everything you need, and what you don't need, you can dispose of. But it'd be a good deal for somebody just to take it all.
Yeah, I'll give her a call in the morning and see what she's got.
Yeah. Yeah, I texted you that link for the what do you call the stabilizing stuff.
Okay.
That's quite a piece of wood you're showing off there, Kelly.
I know, isn't it pretty?
Yeah, nice.
Holy smokes. Look at
Yeah,
that.
Get a little closer here. Look at that.
Wow. That's
Bro.
awesome.
It's, I don't know. It goes about, 15 feet that way. I've got trailer pull.
Is that at your house?
Yep.
I'll be
That's
there
what
tomorrow.
I go to pick up a drum sander and then run up to Kittery, but I'll be home after. I'm gonna be home
You
by.
have to go to Kittery?
Yeah, I gotta go pick up a little rifle, and I gotta stop by the outlets and see how my pens are.
Well, Brett and I are in Kittery, and we're not too far away.
It goes.
And Dominic is over there in, where are you, Dominic?
York.
In York, that's right, York.
York.
And Mike Suter's in Elliott. I mean, between the four of us, there's we're real close by, within probably 20 minutes of each other.
Yeah, I live in Barnstead. I live about 45 to an hour away from Portsmouth and Kittery. So.
Well, you don't want to make that long trip for nothing then.
It's cool. I don't know if anybody can use it. I know I was going to.
Oh, no, nobody else could use that except us.
It's a really weird looking.
It's box elder, right?
Oh yeah, plain box elder, but it's got a weird burl. It's like a root burl, I think.
Yeah.
I think. I was gonna cast out of it, but
You have any solid burls at your house there?
get this guy here.
There's a
Small
nice-
ones, yeah. That's good for pen blanks and stuff, yeah.
Yep. And then where's that one that we get?
There's one.
What?
Yeah.
This guy. It's kind of hard doing this one-handed. This guy's good size.
Mm-hmm.
All sorts of grain in here. It's burl there. I got a little piece of burl over here. This is a burl with the bark off. So
Yeah.
I mean, each piece. This is a. Hold on. What I mean when it, even the branches had.
Yeah, that's cool. It's good for smalls. Yeah.
For your pens or small things with that stuff, but even these bigger. Well, here's a piece of burl. Another piece of burl. Another branch with burls on it. That piece of burl that we cut down. It's a cap right here again. And there's can't really see them because they're in the trailer still. But like this here's a log that's got a whole burl on the side.
Mhm.
Burl got over here.
It's quite a haul.
Over there. What is this? Where'd this come from? I don't even know if that's not mine.
That's definitely a lot
Guys,
of
a
work
whole burl
without
in
a
there.
tractor.
Yeah, and by
Yeah.
yourself. The whole-
Well, Brett's not still with us, I guess. I don't see him on the screen. I was gonna call Dan Etlick and see if I can't get him a day off from the yard so that he can be available when you stop by.
Yeah, once I take out what I mean, there's a whole pile here of smaller stuff. So if you have smaller lathes that can't handle the bigger, this whole pile right here is smaller. My bigger stuff's over
I
there.
think he knows them.
Through yet. And like I said, I still got a trailer full, maybe 2 trailer fulls and a truckload. I have to
No,
bring
that
home.
John Dross doesn't want to bring any of that stuff in and get his shop all dirty.
Yeah, well, I can hose it off before I bring it in, so
Well, I mean,
I'll work with it.
it is green if you want to dry some of the stuff and do that. Because like I said, I'm going to be putting up a couple kilns. I got a chest freezer and I've got my little wine cooler thing that I'm going to convert to try out. And then I've got some of this, the wood that doesn't have the flame in it, but it's got a cool grain. So, I mean, there's a little bit of that. I probably got 15 logs of that, like small logs, 3-footers.
Hey, Kelly, it looked like you had a dragon or something to the right.
Oh yeah, Doug. Yeah, Doug.
Oh, my grandson would love that. That's sweet.
Yeah, he's my Christmas dragon. He got evicted though because I needed space in the basement. So he usually has a Christmas hat on around this time of year. But he
I figured that's
make
what
that?
was,
no. This is a Halloween decoration I got a couple years ago. My husband absolutely hates him because he's huge. He's about 6 feet tall and massive. And he has a fog machine. He breathes fog and makes noise. So.
Oh, wicked cool.
Oh yeah, there's a blue one like him. I haven't been able to locate one yet, so Ben doesn't know, but I'm gonna be getting that too at some point. He's gonna hate me, but
Well, he knows happy wife, happy life, right?
yeah, I do all the work around the house, so he can bite the big one. Yeah, he can keep the house. I'm building a new house, so he can stay here if he wants. But big cookie right there. Wait, so there's about 4 feet. Got the medium cookie right here, which is 32 inches about wide. But I haven't even taken straps off the truck yet for the trailer. And let me tell you, this stuff is heavy. Pretty sure I gave myself a hernia lifting this log.
Wow.
Oh. But I mean, I was sorting it, and then this is my last run right here, this in my trailer. So I got to sort this stuff, smaller pieces, bigger pieces, stuff that gets cut up into bowl blanks, urns, stuff like that, big stuff. Oh, and then I got a bunch of anchor seal. Well, not a bunch, definitely not enough to do all of this. I'm definitely going to need a case of something.
Well, Kelly, if you check out, I use PVA glue. I get it from a school supply place.
Yep.
Like $5 or $7 a gallon.
That's cheap.
It works. I've been putting paper over the glue, and that seems to be working exceptionally well. Just gotta make sure it doesn't get wet.
Yeah, because the glue will just
Yeah. So if you can get all of that stuff up off the ground, say on pallets, and cover it, you'll have it for a long time.
Oh yeah, no, I'm bringing home pallets, but I have a couple of racks in the basement that the cut pieces are going onto, and then in the living room, and I've got a whole like section underneath on a patio on cement that I'm putting pallets on and putting these on and then covering them. So,
Hey, Kelly, you got a lot of wood since last I've been at your house.
oh yeah,
That's all the lower yard, right?
yes.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and not to mention I
It's
do have.
forever.
Oh, I couldn't pass it up. I saw it. I was like, you know what? That's really nice. I'm gonna keep it.
Wow.
So I'm gonna pick the pieces that I can use, and then I'm gonna get rid of the rest.
Yeah.
Then I've got a bunch of burls up on the bridge, and then in the second driveway is right now full of wood. We didn't even bring this.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, there's a tree right in my way. Oh, can't get out that way. So Sunday we'll go down, grab the rest of the lumber, or the rest of that stuff. And the guy that gave me this stuff said he's got more at his house in Wilmington, but I don't know if it's the same type of wood.